Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So I'll wait a couple of minutes before I get started for a couple of people to tune in. Just want to make sure everything is in order before I get started. So I'll get started in a second. I just want a couple of people to tune in. Okay, if you all can let me know if everything's fine with the audio, just hit that 7 so that we can get started. I want to make sure that it's not buffering or that there's no problems with the audio before I get started. So if you can just throw up the 7, I would appreciate it. Just put up a 7 if the audio is fine. So if you can hear me okay, just throw up the 7 so that we can go ahead and get started. Okay, I see that everything is fine. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Shout out to everyone that's watching right now. So there's been some developments in this Ahmaud Arbery case. So there was a court hearing, and during this court hearing, you had an agent from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation say that he had a conversation with William Bryan. And William Bryan is the one who followed Ahmaud Arbery as he was being chased by the McMichaels. He's the one that captured everything on videotape. And this man says that shortly after Travis McMichael shot and killed this brother, Ahmaud Arbery, he proceeded to call his brother a fucking nigger. Those were his exact words. He called Ahmaud Arbery a fucking nigger as he was dying, as he was laying in his own blood after being shot at least 3 times by this racist man. Now, for the longest time, you had all these people saying that this had nothing to do with race. I mean, you have people like this tap dancing minstrel, Candace the Coon Owens, say that this had nothing to do with race, that this was about break-ins and all that kind of stuff. The fact of the matter is that there were no record of a rash of burglaries in the neighborhood, according to the police's own records, according to police department records. There was no series of burglaries in the neighborhood. But yet and still, that was their excuse for hunting this brother down, for tracking this brother down, and for eventually killing this brother. And, you know, they said that he was burglarizing some home, some house that was under construction. You know, and they made a big deal about this video evidence of the brother on a property that was under construction. But it turns out that multiple people visited this house that was under construction. But those people weren't followed. Those people weren't hunted. Those people weren't killed like the brother Ahmaud Arbery. So, I mean, this is clearly about race. They wouldn't have pursued this brother if it was just a white man doing the exact same thing. A white man exploring this house that's under construction. And another thing that has to be mentioned about the house under construction is this. You know, this house, you know, the owner of the house said that nothing was stolen from the house. You know, nothing was recovered from Ahmaud Arbery, proving that he stole anything from the house. So that was just a smokescreen to justify the killing of this brother. And if it wasn't for that videotape, if it wasn't for the outrage that people expressed, there would be no arrest in this case. And I just want to go back over the facts for those people who are unfamiliar with this case. You had this brother who was jogging in the neighborhood, and you had these people basically pursue this brother. They said that he was some burglary suspect, but as I said before, there's no proof that he burglarized anyone's home or stole anything from anybody. but these people claimed that he was some burglar, and they claimed that they were engaging in a citizen's arrest. So they pursued this brother, and as they were pursuing him, they drove in front of him and tried to block his path, and you had another person in another vehicle pursuing his brother as well and capturing everything on videotape. And according to this particular report, this third person actually struck Ahmaud Arbery with their vehicle. You know, and this third person, again, his name is William Bryant. And eventually there's a situation where there's a confrontation between Ahmaud Arbery and Travis McMichael. Travis McMichael proceeds to shoot and kill his brother with a gun. And of course, there's been outrage. And now, you know, you had all these people again saying that this had nothing to do with race, that this was about him being some burglary suspect. And that story has been proven for the previously stated reasons to be completely false. And now it comes out that this man, Travis McMichael, used racial slurs, you know, furthering, you know, the argument that this was about race. And then not only did this man, Travis McMichael, use racial slurs and called his brother a fucking nigger as he was dying, breathing his last breath. This man, Travis McMichael, had used the N-word on social media several times, according to this report. This man bragged about how he loved his job on a boat because he didn't have to be around niggers. This is the kind of person that committed this crime. So make no mistake about it. This was an act of violence committed because of race. This was an act of racist, white supremacist terrorism. That's exactly what it was. And it's just a shame that people try to sweep this under the rug and pretend like it wasn't what it was. You had a prosecutor who wasn't even going to pursue this case, who came up with all kinds of cockamamie, half-baked excuses as to why he couldn't prosecute the case. So, you know, I'm glad that things have, you know, there have been some charges in this case. You know, these two men have been charged with murder, and then you also have this third person that's been charged as well with this crime for his role in it. But this is only the beginning part. As I've said in many videos before, charges are just that, charges. You have to have a trial to determine whether or not these people will be found guilty and will be sentenced for this horrific act that was taken against his brother. You know, this brother lost his life in the prime of his life, lynched on camera. And this is probably what helped ignite the further protests that we see going on right now around this George Floyd case. Because it's like the people have had enough. You know, how many black men will die at the hands of these racists before we take action? And this was just the last, you know, this latest case of George Floyd was just the last straw that the people could take. And now they're just outraged, and you see protests all around the country and in fact all around the world. I saw a video, I think it was on CNN, of protests taking place in France and in England and all over the world, where people are in solidarity with the African American, you know, and that's a great thing. But, you know, I just wanted to share my thoughts real briefly with you all on this particular topic. I want to see what you all have to say before I sign out. I want to thank you all for tuning in. So let me just scroll through the comments. Shout out to everyone tuning in. T-Boy said, I can't say I was surprised about the comment. Even the guy that videotaped the incident has made racial slurs as well. I need to learn more about that situation. Yeah, and then Morgan said, yeah, shout out to Morgan. Morgan said, we're not done yet. We need justice for Breonna. Yes, we do need, and that's a case that I'm going to do. I'm going to do extensive research on that particular case and do a video soon on that particular case. So I want y'all to look out for that. You know, I just need to do more research on that particular case. But we need justice for all black people that are victims of police brutality. and not just justice for the individuals. We need justice for the entire black community. We need to dismantle these racist institutions and restructure them completely. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Peace and blessings, everyone. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video. Hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content on here. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a good night.